greetings.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick, and I'm all out of bubblegum, baby.
How you doing today, Dirty Dan?
Oh, you know what, Goose? It's a good day. It's a good day. How about you?
I am good. It has been a good day for me as well. We're 4 days into October, and it still feels like summer, so that's totally fine with me.
Good. I just wish it was wintertime.
See, now that is where we disagree a lot. I don't like snow. I don't like cold weather.
I mean, not everyone has the built-in Bigfoot fur coat that I got, so it's okay.
You know, maybe you need to go to Alaska and live in an Eskimo house.
You know, I've been to Alaska, and gosh dang, would I love to go back. It is so gorgeous up there. I understand when they say Alaska, the last frontier, because until you actually go there and experience it, and we went on a cruise, so we did see the tourist spots, but we also went on some excursions where we had to take a little seaplane. It was a Cessna 210 with pontoons, and landed both near and on a glacier and out in the middle of, like, just all of a sudden the trees disappeared. It's a little ice landing strip, and that was it. Like, it is gorgeous.
Well, I've heard other people say that, and I've had people try to get me to go to Alaska before, and I just no. I have no desire to go to Alaska. I'll go to Hawaii. I would love to go to Australia.
I mean, there's also a lot of untouched history up there and artifacts. Like that's still a day-to-day thing. It's not like preserved in a museum or anything. So it's cool for that. And it's also really cool the fact that, like, bald eagles up there, like, it's like a 6-to-1 bald eagle to person ratio. Right. Well, you can't go 5 minutes without seeing one.
Well, that's cool. There's actually one not far from here that had a nest a few years ago from my home county, and it's near a lake over there. And they actually had pictures of it and everything. It was really cool. So,
when I lived up north, I used to have one in my backyard that would come and just kind of chill out because I had the old metal clothes hanger set up outside. But there was a whole protected nest area of them at the Hill School where Trump's kids went, and like I said before, I was only a block away from that. Did you ever just come over and?
Did you ever try to feed it?
Oh, I threw a steak to it a couple times.
A steak?
Oh yeah, Goose, you're talking a 10 to 12 ounce piece of meat, right. And they eat dogs.
Well, I figured they would eat bird seed.
Maybe the entire bag at once.
Oh, okay.
They're not small birds.
Gotcha. Oh, well,
they're not a goose.
Okay. I guess I'll let you get started first with email, and you have a nice lengthy one starting out. So,
well, it's not that long.
It's just like one, two, three, about 5 paragraphs. So,
well, yeah, they're kind of small. I'd only call it like 3 paragraphs. It's not like last week's podcast emails. But all right, we have Adam writing in, says, "Hello, Goose and Dirty Dan. First, let me say that I love the show. We do too. Second, it's great that you are into UFOs. That's the premise. I've also done a lot of research, and here the way that I see things. The research I've done points to that UFOs and gray aliens feed off of our suffering, and the reason they've always been here but never stopped atrocities is because one of their objectives is to fuel religion and war. They also enjoy playing with people at no gain to them, as well as doing kind of passive things perhaps to create more conflict down the road. The implications of their alleged, which I can attest to, time-traveling abilities, you can surmise. Ancient civilizations were also perhaps murdered or entirely abducted by the others for disobeying their wishes. This is what I've heard, but I'm not sure if I believe. A few ufologists I've heard suggest the phenomenon seems to be a method of control. On the other hand, they could be quote-unquote angels who simply have a complex relationship with us. What are your thoughts on this theory and your beliefs towards the motivation and nature of UFOs? Not that they are all the same." Well, Adam,
I'll let you go first.
I'm going to recommend Unidentified by Demi Lovato on Peacock. I'm struggling that I just said those words.
Yeah,
I really am.
I've not had a chance to watch that yet, but I'm going to. I've
now watched the whole series that they have so far twice.
So you must really like it then.
Goose, I got to tell you, it's not focused on her. Right. She just happens to be a character in it.
Okay.
And it's actually like they have some really, really awesome people and specialists, including one that I talked about from the former DOD guy from Great Britain that was in charge of all those, Nick Pope.
Right.
He teaches them a whole class on it in the middle of the Sedona Desert, or Sedona, Arizona. There's a ufologist. That's why I thought I heard her call herself, Brittany Barbary, out of California, by Catalina Island. She has found a base off Catalina coast.
Okay.
And they played a sound called Upsweep. That is an unexplained sound that came from the Indian Ocean that was recorded 3,000 miles away, that they believe are mermaids or something of that nature. And they heard a loud boom, like a door was shutting while they played that recording, and nothing else before or after.
Well, I'm definitely going to check that out. And
I'm telling you, it's 5, maybe 10 minutes of 45 minutes in each episode of Demi being Demi, but the other 35 to 40 minutes is actually well worth the watch.
Okay. Well, I'm definitely going to have to check that out. I've been watching, I binged watch Hills on Stars. That has nothing to do with UFOs. It's about an independent wrestling company from Georgia. So, but hey man, we research UFOs and all this stuff so much. Sometimes it's good to take a break from reality and focus on nonsense stuff like wrestling and
So Adam, I'm going to suggest that you and all the other listeners go and watch that series as well. There's a lot of information. And like I said, I've watched it twice now, 2 days in a row. I picked a lot of stuff up that I missed the first time. Watching it the second time, there's some really, really good stuff in there. There's a lot of actually notable people. They have the whole case of the Tic Tac that we talked about with Justin Perkins off the coast. And you see the full video. And they actually have the interview with the radar operator of that time as well.
That's awesome. That is really cool. That is really cool.
So it was actually, can't believe I'm saying this, really well put together and informative.
Well, I will definitely check that out. And to answer his questions, and I've said this on the show before I started doing the show, I thought that stuff at Roswell was strange and something was covered up. Since doing the show and doing more research and diving into some of these cases and seeing some of the documents that have been declassified, I think there's several types of UFOs or alien species.
There's USOs also.
Yes.
Unidentified submersible objects.
Yes.
They talk about that.
Now, see, that you could play that into the Paintsville train versus UFO incident a little bit as well.
Well, the one thing that really got me with that, and which I have a question for him of how of what he means by which he can attest to with the time travel abilities, is the Star people or the Stargate people, because they went to an old mine and an old site, and they call it the Vulture City.
Okay.
And they have an infrared and SLS camera, and there are some creatures or entities in that room, not human at all. Well, I mean, it's interesting stuff.
I am definitely going to have to check that show out. Last name Sloan says, "Hey guys, great show the last few weeks. Thanks for reading my last email. This may have been asked before, but with technology advancing at a fast rate, where do you see the world in the next 5 years? Roswell." Dirty Dan, you want to answer that one first?
No, you get it, buddy.
Okay. I think we will have a lot more electric cars.
Because of my boy Elon.
Oh, hold on just a second. We've got somebody calling in. Hello, how are you, sir? Do you know who this is, Dirty Dan?
No.
Well, let's see. It dropped. Let's pick it back up here. Elliot.
Who's calling in?
Elliot, can you hear me? Elliot?
Hello.
Well, we lost him. Elliot called. Hold on just a second. Go ahead and read your next email, and I'll give Elliot a call back.
Okay. Well, I would like to answer that question, though.
Okay. Go ahead and answer that question.
It has been asked, but not that way.
Hello?
Hey, Elliot, I don't know why we couldn't connect there on the show phone. How are you doing, my friend?
Doing good, man. We're doing good. We just wanted to call in and check on you and see how you were doing.
Well, thank you very much, Dirty Dan. Can you hear Elliot okay?
I can hear Elliot. Can Elliot hear me?
I can hear you, Dan.
Yes.
You're sounding good.
Hey.
You don't sound dirty at all.
No,
Well,
I'm clean today. I showered.
Yeah, he's actually off work today, so he's clean Dan. Dirty Dan went down the drain.
So here's the fun part. Like we're recording, and I saw that you're recording. So I was like, let's call him.
Oh, there you go. So are we also on the Spooky Family podcast as we speak?
You are now on the Spooky Family podcast.
The Spooky Family.
That is awesome. Dude, this is better than hitting the lottery, being on the Spooky Family podcast.
I agree. I think so.
I feel like that lady in Florida that hit 2 lottery tickets in one day.
I feel like the guy who found dead in in the creek, and he had the winning lottery ticket in his pocket and didn't get to spend it. That's what I feel like. I feel like that guy who caught the gator. And
I don't know if that's a good thing or not.
I also hear Gertie and Beagle in the background.
Yeah,
I heard Gertie.
The whole family is here.
Well, good. We are looking forward to having you guys on October 24th.
It's one big happy Here to Chew Bubblegum collective right now.
That's right, and we're looking forward to having you guys on right now.
Well, hey, we are here. You actually caught us. We are recording our radio show. We actually are on 4 stations now in our area. So
we listen to radio in our area. We're not on the radio, but we listen to it quite often.
Well, hey, your commercial is on the radio and on the podcast.
There we go. So, guys, it's getting close to Halloween.
Yes,
and I know. Technically, you all are recording yours, but one of the things we're talking about tonight is our favorite things to watch at Halloween.
Okay.
So, if you all could just give us something we could watch, what your opinion is, we would love to hear it.
Dirty Dan, you want to go first, or do you want me to?
The Ring.
Oh my gosh, that's awful. That's an awful pick. It has to be 1978 John Carpenter Halloween.
Yeah, I agree with both picks. I like them both. My little girl, when she takes a shower, she looks like the little girl from The Ring. She's always acting like the little girl from The Ring. Listen,
Mom's on the television. We tell her not to.
We tell her not to, but she does anyway. But yeah, I mean, that's just something we wanted to. We saw you all were recording. You put your phone number out there, and we were like, I'm pretty sure that's an invitation to call.
Yes,
So,
well, yeah,
Absolutely.
you guys don't need an invitation to call. You have an open invite. You can come in. You can Zoom, FaceTime, call whenever you guys want to. Because you're part of the Here to Chew Bubblegum family, and we have had a lot of people asking for Elliot's articles.
We sure have. I mean, it's several each week.
And it has picked up over the last 3 weeks. I'm going to say the last time I counted, there was like probably 18 people wanting Elliot's articles back.
Not including the doubles.
We're getting ready to start that. We're right in the middle of spooky season right now. We've got a bunch of interviews lined up and a bunch of we're doing the movie Ultimate Halloween Maniac Movie Madness tournament over here. And,
yes.
We're doing all kinds of stuff. So, but yeah, we've got some Elliot's articles planned. We got a whole series that we want to do on the Men in Black that we're talking to each other about right now.
Here come the Men in Black.
Well, you have definitely made our listeners happy.
Defenders.
Well, listen, your listeners, I would love for them to listen to us if they get a chance to. We would love to have them over here at the Spooky Family Podcast.
That's real easy, Elliot. I'll help you out right now. All the Here to Chew Bubblegum listeners, go over and give our family, the Spooky Family, a listen at the Spooky Family Podcast on all major platforms as well.
Absolutely. And let me go ahead and tell you, Dirty Dan, tell Rebecca for me, I have a Great Awakening map hanging up on my wall that I bought because of her TikToks. So I'm trying to decipher this. I don't know.
Well-
I'm great, almost awake, I suppose. I'm great sleepy at the moment. I don't know.
Well, Elliot,
Yeah.
if you have any questions ever, feel free to come over to our Telegram. If you go on Rebecca's TikToks, her link tree is in her bio. You can find all the links and everything there. She also posts all her research in that link tree.
Awesome.
For anyone who has questions, you can get in contact with her there. You can see exactly what she's researched and looked up. And come on over, and we have a great community over there. Goose is part of it. There's 15 different groups in the one group right now with all sorts of different information categorized. So any questions on that map, come on over, talk to us, get in the family, have a good time.
Fantastic. We appreciate the invite, and we'll show up.
Awesome.
Gilgamesh, and that's what I want to ask her about, the body of Gilgamesh and what happened during this last Gulf War. So if you get to talk to her, tell her that Elliot was wanting to know more about that. If she could wrestle that together, but I would appreciate
That is actually something she loves to talk about, is Gilgamesh. So
Now, is that the giant?
No, this
Okay.
goes back more along to the lines of one of the old ancient Babylonian kings.
Got you. Got you.
Yes.
Okay.
Weapons, will be not. Depends on who you ask. It's one of those things. But and another thing, listen to the show, this last show that you all did. Chris Sloan, just perfection once again. That man is like, his podcast is amazing. Mountain Mysteries. If you listen, make sure you check that out.
Yes, it is, and I was very glad, to have Chris as our first guest for the month of October, doing our guest ghost stories,
And a heck of an interview at that.
Thank you.
Yeah, I could talk to that guy like forever.
Oh yeah. Well, we actually, the interview itself was like 45 minutes, and we probably talked maybe an hour total, prior to the interview, and maybe 30 minutes or so, after the interview. And Chris is a great guy, and I'm going to try to get him back on our next roundtable episode, whenever that may be. So.
Chris is amazing, and the work he's doing to try to get some of these crazy, murder mysteries solved, it's just a great thing. And I'm all about that. I remember back when you all tried to put missing people on your YouTube videos, and they cut you out.
Yeah, that didn't work out too good. And I actually fought that, and I explained to them that we were just trying to help bring closure to families or loved ones to find their loved one that was missing, and these were took off of the National Missing Persons Database, and they instantly said they were sorry, it was their mistake, and they put the video back up.
It creeps me out that they would take that off, knowing what content they do have on there. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, and I'm gonna be honest, it really upset me when they took it down. It really did.
Dirty Dan, I just wanted to shout you out. Good midweek moment this past time.
Thank you.
Yeah, excellent job. But listen, guys, we don't want to interrupt you anymore. We just appreciate talk to you. We appreciate you being on here.
Oh, yeah. Well, thank you guys very much for calling in, and this has worked out great. Here we're recording a radio show. You're recording your podcast show. Thank you very much for having us on, and I want to be on again. And
yeah, absolutely.
Listen, we want to do a whole show with you guys. We just did the spur of the moment. Look, they put a phone number out there. Let's call. One of those things. So, we appreciate it. And listen, next round table you have, if you've got room, some of us would love to be on there.
Yeah, definitely.
Hey,
now,
y'all are family. There's always room.
There you go. Now, the day that you were coming in is October 24th, correct?
Correct. 9 a.m.
Yes, 9 a.m. We will get started. Looking forward to it. Beagle, Gertie, love you guys. Hello.
Hello.
They were having a side conversation. You kind of caught them off guard there.
Good.
That's the best time.
You can take that out in post, Elliot.
No, we're leaving it in. We're leaving everything in from now on.
You're gonna leave in the like tortilla chips, and I was trying to run away from the.
Yeah, Gertie brought Mexican, but didn't bring any Mexican for Beagle and me. So
Oh,
That's disappointing. That's a party foul.
Yeah, that is just rude, Gertie. What's wrong with you?
because she is eating it in front of us.
Oh, Gertie.
Oh, wow. That's all right. That's a line crossed. That's a line crossed.
Hey, Gertie, I've got 2 words for you. Hey, buds. Hey, buds.
Hey, bud.
She, if you didn't hear, she said that was the way she was asserting her dominance, was by eating her Mexican food.
Well, hey, that is all right, I guess. So.
Or it's the way she's protecting herself, because I mean, I can only speak for myself, but Mexican and me, I feel bad for anyone else around. So,
well, yeah, there's two. So I will let you all get back to your stuff, and we appreciate you being on. But before I go, have you heard anything else from the UFO incident over the industrial park?
No, I have not heard anything else about that. I did have a friend of mine that went and checked it out. And he, got there several hours later and went up and looked around. He was able to find no evidence of it, no physical evidence, but he said it was really creepy up there. There was only one building. And he said that it was just like, it'd give off like a zombie apocalypse type feel. There, the whole area did.
Yeah, I drove up there a couple of times, and it's strange to have that much room with like one single building right in the middle, and it's all empty.
Yeah, and that's the same thing he said too. And I think he said it had electricity hooked up on it as well, and there was lights on in it. So,
yeah.
Hey, Elliot.
Yes.
I've gotten confirmation from my source that by October 17th, we will have some numbers that will help us get in contact with someone for the Paintsville incident.
Oh, nice. Listen, I want update me on that one, because that is my favorite story.
I see Dirty Dan knows a lot of people, and he just happens to know a railroader for CSX. So
there you go. Well, see, I know some CSX employees, but no one talk about it. No one I know.
That's same with me. The ones I know, they won't talk about it.
Yeah.
See, when you're Dirty Dan, people just owe you. So I just make a call, I cash something in, and we're good.
Oh, I got it. I'm starting to understand the Dirty Dan nickname now. It's not level of cleanliness. I get it.
Well, no, people actually think he's Bigfoot, and they're scared to death of him. So
that is also true.
Listen,
I grew up next to a nuclear power plant. I can't help that. And my feet are a size 18 boot and 19 sneaker. I'm 6'7". I can't help any of that.
Right. We get it. We totally understand. Beagle is responsible for at least 95% of all the Bigfoot sightings in eastern Kentucky. And that's just him out beside his house without a shirt on. So.
Well, I used to do that in college when it would snow. I'd take my shirt off and I'd put my sandals on and I'd just go tramping through the snow with some big steps. And people were actually concerned that something very big came walking out of the woods.
That reminds me of something that happened at a nice little liberal arts college in Knott County that I'm sure Goose can tell you about later. But all kinds of stuff there. Goose, I might have you a person to come on the show that was actually involved with a little UFO incident in Knott County.
Yeah, definitely. Now I've not really heard of any incidences in Knott County, but yeah, definitely. Please, off there, message me, text me about that.
I will. I absolutely will. I talked to him yesterday, and he gave me some information. I was like, I know somebody who would love to hear that. So,
yes, I definitely would.
Yeah, I'll get that out to you. But listen, guys, I keep saying it's time to go, and then I keep bringing up something else. But we will let you go this time because we want you to get that recording done so we can listen to you all on which radio station are you recording for?
We're recording for all 4 of them today.
Oh, for all 4 of them then. KRP.
Yeah.
WNBC. All of them. But thanks, guys. We'll catch you later. Okay.
All right. See you guys. Thank you very much for calling in.
Hey, Spooky. That's right. Don't get lost in the sauce. How's that?
That's right.
There you go. Sounds good.
All right. See you guys later.
See you.
See you.
Oh, that was definitely a treat. I love that. That was Elliot Spooky and Gertie and Beagle, the spookyfamilypodcast.com. They're actually recording right now. And so, that was totally unplanned. And that was awesome.
That was a great. I had an absolute pleasure meeting them finally.
Yes.
And
great people.
Definitely looking forward to being interactive with them more.
Oh yeah, they're coming on the show, and as everybody heard, season 2 of Elliot's Articles is just right around the corner. Hopefully, the first weekend in November we will have those.
Right out of the horse's mouth.
Yes. So to answer this last email, because the one I just read, we'll make that our last one for this week. You were going to answer it. This may have been asked before with technology advancing at a fast rate, but where do you see the world in the next 5 years, Roswell?
I see us regressing.
Really? Why?
Because of the extreme advancement. I think that because a lot of it is so unregulated yet, because it's so new. I see a little bit of a regression coming. And then in 10 years or so, I see us being at least equal to, if not ahead of where we are now. I think by 2030-ish, we'll be ahead, but I think 2025, 2020, I think we're going to be slightly behind where we are now, because there's going to be so many regulations coming down and trying to control everything, as they always do, that it's going to push us back 2 steps before we get to take 3 steps forward again.
I could see that. I could see that happening. The rest of the email we'll save for next week. I'll make a notation where we were at. Really great, and loved hearing from Elliot, Gertie, and Beagle, the Spooky Family Podcast.
I would like you to read Mike's email, the last one.
We'll get that next week. Yeah, we'll get that next week. You can always call, text, or leave a voicemail by calling 606-373-3396, or they can email. How can they email Dirty Dan?
Well, you can email us, goose@heretechewbubblegum.com, dirtydan@heretechewbubblegum.com, and rebecca@heretechewbubblegum.com. Or you can email Ned or Elliot, who you just heard, at heretechewbubblegum@yahoo.com.
And we're going to take a short break, and we're going to have a Kentucky Spooky Story with Mercedes, and we'll be back in just a few moments.
Take a lighter look into the darker side of the world. Join Elliot, Gertie, and Beagle as they jump into the dark abyss of hauntings, fables, UFOs, and beyond. The Spooky Family Podcast. You can find them where you listen to quality podcasts.
It's now time for a Kentucky Spooky Story with Mercedes.
Louisville Palace Theater. The Louisville Palace Theater began as the Lowe's Theater in 1928. Theatergoers, actors, and staff often see a faceless woman from the 40s, a man from the 30s, and hear a child giggling by one of the powder rooms. A projector worker had a heart attack on the job and never quite clocked out. You never know what you'll encounter if you visit the site at 625 South 4th Street, Louisville.
You've been listening to a Kentucky Spooky Story with Mercedes.
Welcome to the mysterious Appalachian Mountains with Seth and Earl here on Here to Chew Bubblegum. And if you would like for us to read your story that you would like for us to read, send it to seth.ambergy14@gmail.com. And we will definitely read that and give our opinion on it. And this is episode 2. Definitely want to thank Here to Chew Bubblegum for having us do this every week. And this is a report out of Perry County, Kentucky, at Coal Harbor Hill. This was in 1986. It does not give the actual month and day, but it says report from an actual witness. I'm not going to say their name. A friend and I were walking up a hill at approximately 2 a.m. No drugs or alcohol had been consumed by either of us. We were walking on the road up the hill when we both heard a scream. For lack of a better word, it definitely was not human, but it sounded like no animal I've ever heard. It was high-pitched and growling. It was very strange. It first seemed to be, I can't even say the word. It seemed to be from a pretty good distance away. This is a mountainous country, and we were near to the crest of the hill. The sound seemed to come from the valley below. When we first heard it, we both froze and looked at each other after the screaming ended. We both asked, "What the heck was that?" And we started to move a little faster up the hill. After 20 to 30 seconds, we heard the sound a second time. Only now it lasted longer, about 6 or 7 seconds, and sounded much closer. At this point, we ran up the hill back to my friend's home as fast as we could. My friend, who still lives in the area, says that he has heard that sound on 2 other occasions since then, but I never heard anything like it again. That is until I downloaded some possible Bigfoot sounds recorded in Ohio. That is exactly the sound we heard that night. The WAV file is close to that sound, as I care to get again. I also talked to a guy who had a first-hand sighting here in Perry County. He was traveling at night, 2 Lane Road, when he saw a large, around a 7, 8 feet creature standing on a slope behind the guardrail. He said that the shoulders were massive, and when the creature saw his headlights, it crouched down to apparently try and hide. He had passengers in the vehicle, but they didn't see it. The weird thing about the sighting, it happened right at my grandmother's driveway. I mean, I've been looking for this thing for years, and he sees one at my grandma's house. Wow, man, what is your opinion on that side, them hearing them noises and stuff, and that sighting as well?
Well, with most stories, familiar with that, that's a lot of the same rhetoric, the sounds and the screams and the howls and of course, how large the creature is could be, pretty credible, I think.
Absolutely. I mean, the way it hid and stuff is what you hear from a lot of Bigfoot stories, how it crouched down, where Bigfoot definitely is more intelligent than us, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And you're right. You have heard some howls like that. Individual has heard as well.
Yeah, I've heard them. And then, like you said, the Sasquatch is, in my opinion, a very intelligent creature. So it don't want to be seen.
Absolutely. And we definitely want to thank you guys for listening. This has been the second episode of the Mysterious Appalachian Mountains with Seth and Earl. And if you want to send us a story for us to read and give our opinion on it, send the email to seth.ambergy14@gmail.com. We want to thank you guys for having us. We want to thank Here at Chew Bubblegum for having us. Y'all have a good night.
From the heart of Appalachia, located under a shopping mall near the city that moves mountains, you're listening to Here to Chew Bubblegum with Goose and Dirty Dan.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, this is Elliot from the Spooky Family Podcast, and I want to remind you that our buddy, the Paranormal Trucker, has a brand new podcast out. Yes, you can catch the Paranormal Trucker and his crew, Snowman and Large Marge, anytime on YouTube.
They're going to bring you spooky tales from the road, ghost stories, updates on new tech, conspiracy theories, and everyone's open road favorite, unidentified aerial phenomenon.
Be sure and tell them Large Marge sent ya.
You can always call, text, or leave a voicemail for Here to Chew Bubblegum at 606-373-3396. Goose and Dirty Dan. Give the guys a break. They're not that bright.
Welcome back to Here to Chew Bubblegum, folks. We'd like to give a special shout out for episode 2 of the mysterious Appalachian Mountains with Seth of Seth's Daily Podcast.
Seth is doing a great job of that, knocking it out of the park. I love that new segment. Thank you very much, Seth.
Again, kudos to that guy for doing a daily podcast. And it's not like it's lacking for content. That dude really has his ducks in a row.
Yes, he does. Yes, he does. Dirty Dan, I'll let you start out segment 1. This might be segment 1 and 2. So I will let you start out.
Just an encompassment of segments. So the story I have for us today is actually a very recent story from 2 days ago. And it happened in none other than Florida. And it's the Maya Marcano case. The woman tells of a scary encounter with, quote unquote, Armando, police say. It says that officials announced on Saturday that a body believed to be of missing Orlando teen Maya Marcano had been found. Maya had not been seen since last Friday. However, the remains were found in a wooded area with entities. Timber scanned on the lake condominiums in Orlando. An autopsy will be performed to positively identify to confirm that it's Maya, and authorities are trying to piece together what exactly is going on at the crime scene. There are unexplained details that are starting to emerge about another woman who's telling police she's having a scary encounter with both a ghost and a man named Armando. The victim says just before midnight on March 17th, 2021, a 5-pound dumbbell came smashing through her window with no one around. She told investigators that a maintenance man named Armando recently had asked her out. However, video shows that the dumbbell comes flying out of midair. When the police dismissed that, they asked for more details about the man, and she said that she didn't know his last name, and the person responsible has yet to be able to be identified and or found. The deputies found the man named Armando. However, his whereabouts have been confirmed. He has a legitimate alibi for not being in that area.
Well,
she had the entity come to her several times, and that's when she learned the name was Armando as well. So, could this be a classic case of entity embodiment, where it's not actually a person, where it's an entity that is presenting themselves? Because it's this time of year?
I'm not saying it's aliens, but it could be aliens.
Now, they didn't see any UFOs or UAPs or USOs there.
Gotcha.
This is just straight spooky. This is no extraterrestrial. This is just straight spooky.
Yes, it is. Very spooky.
And it's on Fox 35 Orlando. It's not like it's a made-up story. Like it's across several different news channels.
On a legit platform.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, I don't know about you, but I'm going to stay away from Florida for a little bit because they got the gators eating other gators down there. They got entities that appear to be in maintenance man form now. I'm good on Florida.
Did you see that one video? I think it was Florida where the guy catches the gator in the trash can in front of his house. And then there's this gator. It's like at his front door, and he gets this big garbage can with a lid, that's attached to the garbage can. And he catches, he wrangles the gator inside the garbage can, and then he takes it.
I did see that one. I did see that.
Yeah.
I did.
And then he takes it and dumps it out.
Yeah, I mean, well, and that wasn't that big of a gator, but have you seen the video of the other gator eating the gator?
Yeah, I have.
Okay, the gator that was eaten was estimated 6 to 8 feet. All right. And that thing looked tiny in that other one. That's got to be a 14 to 16 foot gator. You know what Troy would say? Shoot them, Lid. Shoot them.
Lake Placid.
Yeah, that is. I'm good on Florida. Panama, Redneck Riviera, Panama Springs, or Panama Beach they can live without me for a couple of years.
Oh, there you go. Are you finished, or do you want me to move on with some Jeff Bezos news?
Oh, that was the majority of the story of that I wanted to share. Okay. I got a little excited while reading it and kept reading faster and faster because that's just like, I feel that story like hit.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. Well, these two stories came out today that I'm about to read, and Jeff Bezos.
Jeff Bezos. Oh, and William Shatner.
Well, that is the second one. The first one is that Jeff Bezos is suing NASA over the moon. Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos continue to fight with each other over space, but this time NASA is also involved. Jeff Bezos is the founder of Amazon.com and Blue Origin, a privately funded aerospace manufacturer. Like SpaceX, Blue Origin makes rocket ships. Bezos recently made headlines when he took one of his ships suborbital and streamed videos of the flight online. Meanwhile, Elon Musk had a little fun laughing at him on social media because Bezos only touched outer space. The rivalry between the two is clear to the public, so it wasn't a surprise when both men's companies were bidding on the same contract with NASA to get their rocket to space. When SpaceX won the contract, Jeff Bezos filed a lawsuit. Now, NASA and SpaceX can't go to the moon until the lawsuit is handled. Why did Jeff Bezos sue NASA exactly? NASA had a certain amount of funding to go to the moon. NASA hasn't sent astronauts there since 1972. So this trip is a real big deal. However, Congress was only going to give NASA so much to make this happen. SpaceX and Blue Origin submitted their contract proposals for the trip. SpaceX won with a $2.9 billion contract. Blue Origin's proposal was for $5.9 billion. They didn't seem to expect that NASA would go with the lowest bidder, but they did. In July, Jeff Bezos tried again to submit a proposal that was $2 billion cheaper, but that still didn't cut it. NASA is going with SpaceX, so Bezos is suing. He argues that NASA should have changed their terms once they realized Congress wasn't giving more money for the contract. Currently, the Jeff Bezos lawsuit is delaying the moon program. Of course, it also doesn't endear the agency to Bezos' company, which doesn't seem like a strong move for its future in space. Elon Musk has been quoted as saying Blue Origin should put more effort into going in space and less effort into lawsuits. When Fox asked Elon Musk about it, he said, "You cannot sue your way to the moon." Okay. Meanwhile, Blue Origin has been saying that SpaceX doesn't follow proper safety protocols, which Elon Musk says makes no sense. It's not currently known how long Jeff Bezos can hold up the NASA's moon mission, but it does currently have things at a standstill.
Okay, so I'm going to say a couple things here. Jeff Bezos,
yes, please.
You match your phallic rocket ship, okay? You are so butthurt on so many different levels because you are no longer the richest man in the world, falling to Elon. Your stuff has never been used by NASA, unlike Elon's hundreds of times. Yours is unproven, unlike Elon's hundreds of times. You can't even get into space, unlike Elon. For days at a time, unlike Elon, you can only touch the outer rim of it, okay? So as far as I'm concerned, a federal judge is going to see that case. They're going to throw it out, or they're going to go in the bathroom, use it for some TP, and carry on. Because Elon and SpaceX, I don't care what people say about him. You have to respect everything Elon has done. Elon made a budget plan or a proposal that came within NASA's ability due to what they were obligated from Congress. So go with the lowest bidder. Sometimes you have to due to budgetary needs. You were $3 billion over it, and that's just because you wanted to try and get above Elon again, Jeff. So sorry about your luck. Go cry somewhere else. Elon will wave to you at the moon. Have a nice day.
It sounds to me like Jeff Bezos is one of these kids that, when you were a kid, you were all gathered up, you're playing footballs with your buddy. You had that one kid that had the football, and he would get mad and go home and ruin the game
water
for
boy.
everybody. So, water
Gatorade.
boy. Some more of Jeff Bezos news. Star Trek's Captain Kirk is rocketing into space next week. Yes, you heard that right. Star Trek's Captain Kirk is rocketing into space this month, boldly going where no other sci-fi actors have gone before. Jeff Bezos' space travel company, Blue Origin, announced Monday that William Shatner will blast off from West Texas on October 12th. At the age of 90, Shatner will be the oldest person in space. He'll join 3 others, 2 of them that are paying customers, aboard a Blue Origin capsule. It will be the company's second launch with a crew. Bezos was the was on the debut flight in July, along with his brother and the youngest and oldest person to fly into space. Shatner will break that record by 6 years. So, William Shatner, 90. He looks good to be 90 years old.
He does. I'll give him that. However, that's what plastic surgery does to a person. Second, Jeff Bezos is just shooting himself in the foot even more because he made such groundbreaking strides, quote unquote, last time, not even taking someone to space, just touching the rim of it, that he's got to try and do another media prop to get him to look better. Third, what company, Goose, remind me again, what company NASA's been using to get to the space station and not Blue Origin, not Virgin Galactic?
SpaceX.
That's right. So I rest my case.
You really don't like Jeff Bezos, do you?
I have an utter disdain for that man and everything he stands for because he carries it out so childishly.
Do you order stuff off Amazon?
I don't.
Okay. So you don't order anything off Amazon?
The other half does.
Okay.
I prefer to go to the what is it called? It's
Walmart, the supermarket.
No, it's a local co-op store.
Oh, okay.
I support local. Yeah. I was a local business.
What business did you have?
Automotive repair, automotive and diesel repair.
There you go.
So
I've actually sold cookies before.
I mean, I sold popcorn as a Boy Scout. So
okay.
I may have been a little promiscuous back in my days with that.
The first job you ever had, what did you do?
I shoveled the discarded contents of cows and milked them.
Gotcha. Okay. Before I got into radio at age 14, the first paying job I ever had was unloading a truck at a dollar store.
No, I was a dairy farmer.
Well, there you go. What's the other story you have for us?
So I have, it's a culmination of 15 short stories. They're all broken up.
Okay.
So I figured I could interject these shorter stories in between to give a breakup for us. So the first one, this was recorded in 2021. So according to this, February, it would be February of 2020 it happened. About a year ago, I was at my dad's house taking care of the dog for the week because he was gone camping with some friends and his sister. This gentleman's wife was also gone back to Columbia to visit with her family for a month. His in-laws had asked him to take care of their dog while they were gone, and I, of course, said yes. So there I am. First night at my dad's house with two dogs who had been playing together all day. I decided to go to bed around 10. So I go to lock the front and the back door, and I make sure every door in the house except from the bedroom door is closed, and I sleep. About midnight, I hear the dogs freaking out, barking and whining. So I jumped out of bed and go check on them. On my way downstairs, the back door was not only unlocked, but was opened. I looked down at the dogs, and they're both staring at the basement door, whining and growling while laying in a puddle of their own pee. I see the basement door is also now open, so I have 911 ready to be called on my phone, and I go downstairs. I search around for a while, not even sure what I'm looking for, until I decide to go back upstairs and clean off the dogs. About 1 a.m., the dogs are finally clean and no longer focused on the basement, so I make sure the basement door is again latched and closed and go back upstairs, making sure the back door is locked as well. At about 2 o'clock, only an hour later, I once again hear the dogs barking and freaking out, so I run downstairs, and yet again, the back door is now unlocked and wide open. So is the basement door. But this time, both dogs are staring out the window looking into the backyard. This time, I don't bother to go downstairs into the basement. I just close the door. I run to the back door and close it, and I lock it as hard and fast as I can. I go upstairs, and I did not sleep for the rest of the night, but both dogs then slept on the bed with me. After about a week, my dad gets home, and I ask him if we can watch his home cameras for the first night that I was there. I had to wait for him to get home because I had no clue how to work it. But as we were watching, we were just looking to see if anything or anyone went near the house during the night. Oddly enough, there was nothing. The only weird thing is that about midnight and 2 o'clock, the back door randomly flings open with a cloud going in and out. But the scary part is that from a different camera in the house, we can clearly see me lock the back door every single time. No issues with the locker any other day before or since then.
Wow. October is the time that creepy stuff happens, that weird people come out. You know, sometimes I think the first of the month is scary, but, you know, this month is even scarier. Have you heard about, are you a fan of the Halloween movies?
I am.
Did you like the one that came out a few years ago? The remaster, or well, it was actually a sequel, I guess, unofficial sequel to the first original one. Had Jamie Lee Curtis in it. Okay, Halloween Kills featurette reunites original movie cast. The cast is back after more than 40 years, including Jamie Lee Curtis, Kyle Richards, Charles Cypress, and many more. Halloween is here or coming soon in so many ways, which means we have to talk about Michael Myers. You know, Mr. Halloween himself. He is far from dead, and the franchise isn't over yet as Halloween Kills debuts in theaters and Peacock on October 15th. In the latest featurette, we go back to the lovely murder-filled town of Haddonfield. Why is anyone still living in this small town is beyond me. You can check out a reunion video of a featurette as we get one step closer to Halloween Kills and the end of a true icon. No, for real this time. Is he going to die or come back? I mean, maybe, but pretty sure, yeah, he's dead soon. I totally disagree with the author of that story.
Yeah, I'm not too happy on the ending of it.
Do you have any? Well, we have about probably 8 minutes left. Do you have something else for us?
Yeah.
All right. Shoot away, my friend.
All right. So this happened May of 2021. After my father-in-law died, we moved into their house. My father had been an old Navy man, a provider, a hard worker, a caretaker, you know, the kind of guy who checked the oil and topped off fluids in not only his wife's, but our cars weekly. But he'd had a lot of drama and chaos with his wife and children, who all had suffered from one thing or another, like depression, bipolar, schizoaffective disorder, etc. So hospital visits, suicide scares, trouble at school, arrests, and whatnot. In the first few weeks we lived there, the front door repeatedly opened by itself, just popping open at random times. I had small kids going in and out, so I blamed them at first. I inspected it for any reason why, closing it, jiggling the handle, pushing it from the outside, looking at all the weather stripping and molding, barely closing it, etc. Could never see anything or any reason why it wouldn't stay closed. It would open sometimes 3 times a day, sometimes none, with people in the room without, but dozens of times over 3 to 4 weeks. Finally, one night, I thought I had had a really vivid dream. I was in the living room when the door opened and John walked in. He looked tired, worried and confused. I said, "Hey, John, are you okay?" He didn't answer, but he looked at me and looked around, and I could tell he was, as usual, more worried about us than himself. I said, "It's okay, John. You're okay. I'll take care of them. We're going to be fine." He looked at me, gave me a worried half smile, but nodded, turned, nodded again, and went back out. I never fixed the door because it never happened again. My wife also told me I wasn't dreaming. I was sleepwalking.
Wow. Have you ever been sleepwalking before?
Not that I recall, but I've been told on 2 separate accounts that I have been sleepwalking.
I don't remember sleepwalking. I know I talk in my sleep sometimes. I have woke up from a bad dream and jumped up and so forth, stuff like that.
One of the instances, like, I legitimately remember doing the things I did when I was apparently sleepwalking.
Right.
But I have no conscious memory of going to and from, but I remember doing the specific things I did. However, my old neighbor, he sleptwalked so bad, he jumped out of his bunk bed, went out the window onto his roof, jumped down the roof, which is about a 10 to 12 foot fall into the driveway, and walked down the street, bleeding from his head.
Wow. We got a few minutes here. I just want to, from liveabout.com, they released a top 10 Halloween songs list for the season.
Oh boy.
I will read the top 5. Number 5, Michael Oldfield, Tubular Bells. What's your thoughts?
I've never heard of it.
That's like the theme to the Exorcist. Yeah.
Okay.
Number 4, Rocky Horror Picture Show soundtrack.
That is a great album.
Number 3, DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince, Nightmare on My Street. That is number 3. Number 2, Bobby Boris Pickett and the Monster Mash. And
Monster Mash.
That's a very good impression, my friend. And number 1 on the list of top 10 Halloween songs, even though we just did the top 5, Michael Jackson, Thriller.
I mean, it's a timeless classic.
Yes, it is.
I don't agree with a lot of the controversy surrounded around that man. He was a very oddball. I'll give him that.
Yes.
Very oddball. I don't necessarily believe a lot of the controversy around him, but the one thing I feel that cannot be argued is that man was a musical and performance genius. And that's just scraping the top.
Yes, he was. Dirty Dan, do you want to tell us about an organization that you're talking about this month, my friend?
I sure will. I would love to, actually. So for the next few episodes, we're going to recognize the group and their amazing work called the Till Valhalla Project. Established in 2017, rocking the slogan, "Where heroes live on forever," under their wonderful tribute of a logo, the TVP team is all about bringing and spreading awareness of the help our vets and soldiers need. The ones who devote and sacrifice their time to protect our lives and freedoms, and sometimes, and all too much, unfortunately, give the ultimate sacrifice of their own lives for us. A rep from there, Julia, was quoted saying, "Our mission is to do whatever it takes, anything to get our name and purpose out to the masses. The sale of these products is going to make a difference, but it's the conversations and the awareness they will bring to lessen the 22 a day plus 1 active duty that is way more significant than any monetary donation. We need to support each other, and most notably our brothers and sisters and the families left behind." Starting in 2019, the Till Valhalla Project donates an additional 20% of net proceeds towards reducing the veteran suicide. And as of a month ago, in under 2 full years, they have now raised and donated over $1 million to the 22 a day foundation. They also make beautiful, touching tributes of memorial plaques that any and all vet and active duty service member get from them. So if you want to check them out, tillvalhallaproject.com, go over and support them, talk, because it's not for them. It's grown into more than just the vets and the soldiers. One of their shirts says, "I can't promise to fix your demons, but I can promise you won't face them alone. End all suicide."
That's awesome.
So
awesome.
Folks, if you are ever in a place where you feel you're alone, you're left out, you have no one, you always have someone to talk to, reach out to us. I don't care. I will talk to you if you need it. I know Goose will do the same. It doesn't matter. Being someone who suffered from mental illness myself, I've come to learn how selfish it would have been had I been successful in my attempt. It's not a good time for anyone. There's, like I said, there's always someone to talk to, and some of those people are us. So, with that being said, don't forget about Adventures with Purpose. Head over to AWP, adventureswithpurpose.com. Check them out on YouTube. Still support their great cause.
Yes, sir. I want to say special thanks to Carlin for all the voiceover work. Be sure to check out and support our friends that have their own shows. CK and Uncle Bill over at deadpit.com. Talk Junkie with Justin Perkins. Jordan and Brad of Down on the Holler. Seth Ambergy with Seth's Daily Podcast. Elliot Gertie and Beagle of the SpookyFamilyPodcast.com. Chris Sloan over at the Mountain Mysteries Podcast. And don't forget about Cronkite, Snowman, and Large Marge over at Paranormal Trucker. If you want to awaken more, check out Rebecca Short on TikTok and Honest Rebecca Thoughts on Twitch.
And I just want to say thank you again to Seth for his new segment for us for episode 2, and I'm looking forward to continuing that with him.
Definitely. That'll do it for this week. We'll see you next week, and until then, so long for now.
Maybe I'm not leaving. Maybe I'm just going home.
Thanks for listening to Here to Chew Bubblegum. Tune in next time as we dive deeper into things the government doesn't want us to know.